To sum up JavaScript and object-oriented programming, I will create another practical demo class. I'll call it JavaScript 12 Bank ATM JavaScript. There will be two parts. Create bank client record, and second part, utilize get access and utilize bank client record. Okay. I declare class bank client, and I'll create a set of members. Client ID, client name, account type, and account balance. Now, I'm gonna create variable client instance as new class. Right now, at this point, let me save the file. At this point, I can get an access to all class members. However, in the real world, we do it protected. We need to use so-called setters and so-called getters. Setters and getters, or set and get object-oriented programming methods. Do not forget that methods are functions also applicable. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to set client ID. So I type set client ID To set it, I need to provide some kind of ID. And this ID will go to client ID. So I type this class client ID will be equal to ID in parameter. Next one, set client name. Obviously, I need a parameter name. So this client name will be equals to whatever name will be provided in parameter. Next, set account type. account type, I'll provide a parameter as type, and this class account, you see methods already started appear here. Account type will be equals to whatever type we will provide. Then set account balance. Obviously, a parameter will be balance. So this class count balance will be equal to balance. Okay, so we're done with setters. Now let me create getters. I'll simply copy these ones. I'll copy setters first, then getters second. Now I'll change for get. Get. Now to get what? We don't need any parameters because we're getting values. Okay. Now we don't need any of this of value assignments. There is no parameters. Okay, we need to return values. So return this client ID. Return to a caller, client name. Return account type. Return account balance. Good. So in real world, we need to use getters and setters. File save. So this one is done. So set up class member values or initialize. Initialize or set up class values. So we created this instance of bank client class bank client. Copy it and let's say set. Type S, set client ID. It comes with, let's say ID will be 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3 is enough. Then set client name. Client name is a string. Let's say let's go next. Set account type string, checking, and set account balance. Let's say 15,777. Okay. So now we need to call it back. Now, client ID, get client ID. Do not forget its function, method, and method has parentheses. Then client ID. Actually, I do different. Console log, and we're gonna type ID, here plus all this. Good. Now copy paste client name, and here get client name, then account type, and here will be accordingly get account type. Account balance. I'll implement a dollar sign here, and obviously get account balance. Do not forget this parenthesis. Okay. So first of all, I need to write something. I'll write here. Setting up bank client data. Here, displaying bank client data. Okay. Looks fine so far. Let me check it again. Let's file, save. Let's execute it using getters and setters. Ah, of course. Of course, here. Of course, it's new. Execute. As you can see, all good. All good. Now, let's reset values. Actually, I'm gonna be doing pretty much same. Well, you know what? It's better to implement because besides of class members, setters and getters, we might have actually another functions here. Let's create function bank bank interest. We'll create bank interest. Okay, let's say bank interest. Interest. This function will be done without, so balance will be this account balance, return this account balance, multiplied by interest, whatever we provide here. Okay. So here we provide it, and now I want to call another one. No. Let's do client instance. Bank client, no. Bank interest, sorry. Bank interest. Let's provide some amount, let's say bank. Let's say 0.1. And here will be console log. Console log. Bank account interest. Client instance, we're gonna be calling bank interest. This one. File save. Let's say execution. No, it's wrong. Should be bank interest plus this account balance. Okay. Should be like this. Account balance plus account balance multiplied by interest. It should be like this. Okay. Accumulated interest. Save. Paste. Okay, as you can see here, bank account accumulated interest. This one. We can create as many functions as we want. For example, I create another class function like void function. For example, client rate. Client rate, and we simply here will be console log this client estimated as a plus. Okay. Rating, not rate. Client rating. Save. Let's call client instance, simply speaking. Client rating right here. Do not forget its function. we applied void function. Oh, client rating. Client rating. Okay. Save, or even, you know what? Yeah, okay. Good enough. This is it. This is how it works. We set, we displayed, we called. These are getters. First, we applied setters, class member setters to set class values, class member values. Then we're displaying using getters. Then we called another function, bank account accumulator record for bank interest applied, and simply a void function estimated. As estimated as A plus. File save, clean. Once again, let's go for review. You created class members. You created setters for class members to set values with parameters. Then you created getters to return class member values. You created extra two functions, one with parameter, another void, doesn't return value. Part number two, we created another variable because it changes the value, not constant, client instance as new bank client class. Then we used setters to set value. Then we called getters. And we called two extra functions. Now, at this point, we can use again setters to reset another values and call again using getters. However, it doesn't matter now. Here it is. That's it. So to sum up, let's see what we've learned. First of all, we learned about variables. We learned about we learned how to create a simple record, in this case real estate agency record for a client. We learned about variables using var, variable, let, and constant. We learned the difference. Here it is. Secondly, we applied JavaScript logic, if else, using nested expressions also. After which we use switch. Please note that with break you can use, I'll put a comment here, use break or continue keywords to exit. Use break or continue. You can type here, let's say, continue here. However, it's not required right now. File, save, execution, clean. Then we use for loops, one with increment, here increment, another with decrement. Then we checked about while and do while loops, the difference. increment and decrement again. We'll clean it. Then we learn about arrays and map. Please notice that arrays and maps, they exist during your file execution only in virtual memory. Then we started to learn about methods or functions. Here we used void. I should really put it void function with body. Here I already did it. Void. Okay. File save. Execute. Void body. Void function does not return a value. Doesn't have a parameters or does nothing. Clear? Then we learned about parameters. Functions with parameters. With different parameters. Here we are. After which we learn how to apply a return statement. Then we started with object-oriented programming class. We created a simple class with class members. Then we use created as variable class copy as new class name. And then we set up class member values to start up. Okay. After which we learned about constructor, how to create a constructor for class members, and how to apply this keyword. This means belongs to this, whatever you're using. In this case, to class. How to create new class copy, new. How to set values and how to call them back. Okay. And finally, we went to practical Bank ATM machine example. And we learned how to use setters and getters to protect, in order to protect your class members. We also created two extra functions. Bank interest with parameter interest with some formula here, and simply void function to rate a bank client. Then we created new variable as new bank client. Okay, then we set using setters, only setters. We did not directly access class members, okay? And then we call display bank client data using getters. Also, we called for two extra functions just to show that you can place any functions you like inside your class. That's it, all good. Now you totally understand JavaScript starting from the beginning to object-oriented programming. See you in the next lectures and good luck.